Hey everybody, it's Gail from Gail's Bookish Things. Well, what did you think of that bookshelf of old books and traveler's notebooks? Would it surprise you to know that those are actually mini books that I have recently created? But you know how it is when you're on YouTube and you like to make things and something catches your eye and it becomes your obsession. That's how it works for me. And then I have this new thing that I'm doing that I have to like obsess with and do like for days on end. So anyway, I decided it would be really fun to make some miniature books. I think that the process of this was I had seen somebody show miniature travelers notebooks and I thought, oh, I would love to have that. That would just be really fun. Before making the traveler's notebooks, I decided to just try some mini books. I looked on YouTube for some people that were showing these, and this idea came from, I believe her name is Pam at the Paper Outpost. I should have written it down. Pretty sure that that's correct, though. She had adorable little journals. She called them trinket books. It's a great way to use up all these little scraps you have. I had tons of strips, you know, like if you do junk journaling and you tear paper down to size, you get strips like this or varying degrees of that. Well, I think I gave mine all away, sadly, but you know, you have to de-junk every so often. So I just still had some scraps though and made some new strips and followed Pam's directions on how to make these little books, which can be in any size. This is really probably my favorite. It was the first one I did, and I just happened to have a little bit of scrapbook paper with this adorable little tiny print on it. I made some bigger ones, a couple more smaller ones. I've wrapped them with this fine twine to kind of hold them together. So let's take a look in a couple of these. This one is a variety of scrapbook papers that I had on hand, and I just tore them or cut them into strips and made the pages. Then you use cardstock for the outside and you fold it around so that it bends over your inner page, so that inner page actually becomes part of the spine. And then you just ink up the edges or the papers as you see fit, as you wish. If you like a fresher look, you don't have to do that. I kind of liked this vintage look. This one is some paper that I coffee dyed and tore. I mean, they can just keep getting smaller and smaller as long as you can find a way to attach them or you know, like hold the pieces together. So these are kind of like little junk journals, because I would call them that because the pages are all different. Some of them are varying sizes of pages. Now this one I didn't get them all inked up. Well, maybe I did a little bit, but not like these little tiny pieces. Anyway, the junk journal aspect contains, in my way of looking at it, a variety of papers, sizes of papers. If you're doing a full-size one, the sky's the limit, but this small, I liked doing that, but I didn't embellish it a whole lot because it's just super tiny. I don't think I was willing to work quite that hard. So I just did the different pages or the weathered looking pages with a coffee dye. So I think they probably have about 10 or so pages each. These little bit bigger ones like this, I think you really could carry in a tote bag, a purse, a pocket to take notes. More coffee dyed paper. I also did some paper with just coloring them with some of my like distress inks like this. And then this one I thought looked kind of vintagey with that floral flower print. A lot of them I did the edges with Vintage Photo color of the Distress ink, but there's also a corduroy one that I used. I did do some in touches of black over the brown to give it a more aged look. It has a craft paper cover. Most of these here are scrapbook paper, like cardstock type weight. But this one is the craft paper. And I did go through and dirty up the edges. I believe that this lighter tan color on the pages is my corduroy. It might have another name with it, but it's just like one of these, and it's something corduroy, weathered corduroy or something. Something that indicates distress and old age, vintage. So got a little bit of everything. I have some ledger paper, I have scrapbook paper, I have a piece from a book that I bought for the purpose of tearing up to use for junk journals. There's a kind of a sketch from a magazine from my friend Kim from the UK. I took a little piece out of that. And there you go. 10 to 20-ish sheets. Kind of weathered up the back with some more ink, and it's just the cutest thing. Pam at the Paper Outpost said you could use these for ornaments. You can thread through some twine or embroidery floss and make it a tag for a present or an ornament. I just think they're cute, but I don't know, exactly sure what I'm going to do with them, but it was just so fun to make. If my granddaughters have an 18-inch American Girl type doll, whoopsie, I might see if they want one of these so that their doll can have a book. And also they might just look cute on a shadow box or a little vignette of some sort, or looping through. You could hole punch or put string around the twine and add a jump ring, or add a garment. What are those garment pins or bulb pins, and hang it from your journal? So please comment below if you have ideas on how you would use this, or how somebody could use these. Yes, they're cute and they were really fun to make, and I'll probably make some more. But I always like for things to have a destination or a purpose. Okay, now here's that's cute. I think those are super fun, but I've got to show you these. I'm so excited about my little mini traveler's notebooks. This leather is actually sample leather from Growly Leather. Some time ago, I ordered a tote bag from them. The couple that runs that business are related to my husband's good buddy. And so anyway, I bought a tote bag from them, and she sent me several samples. They were like big squares, sort of like a coaster size, of the various leathers I was considering. I still had those sitting around, and when I saw the YouTuber that had the little mini traveler's notebook, I had an aha moment and decided to make some for myself in varying sizes, and also using up my scraps of scrapbook paper. This one I really like. This leather is called Folklore. It's gotten just dinged up with me bending it and scratching it a bit in the process of making this, but it has a super distressed look. I'm smelling it. I can't smell that one as much, but some of them have a strong leathery. I just love the look of that. It's kind of got a golden pull up to it. It's really nice. So then, anyway, I strung this like you would a 2-string traveler's notebook, and I did use a smaller elastic cord. This is Hildy and Joe. This is from Joann's. I tried to use my regular size elastic that's typical for a traveler's notebook. I had a little bit of that. I just couldn't get it through my needles, the eye of my needles. I ended up using this kind of needle, that you do leather work with, but they have similar things for crocheting. I do have plastic ones I couldn't find, but anyway. So I just went out today and bought this more narrow in circumference, I guess you would say, elastic, and I chose, I don't know what color it is, but it just is like a tan. Oh, and it's 1 millimeter, so if that's helpful to anybody. I made a little mini traveler's notebook insert, and this actually has Tomoe River paper. I had bought a package of just single sheets a long time ago. I think I might have gotten it from maybe Goulet Pens, I'm not sure, but wherever you can buy it. So I used some of those sheets and used the cardstock. I did staple it. I'm trying to disguise the staple there a little bit, but it's just like a basic traveler's notebook with a craft paper cover. And then I bought these today, this ephemera pack. They're called snippets, and they're just all different size tags. Another Tim Holtz product. I used to have stickers that were like this. They came in sticker sheets. I bought them on clearance and pretty much used them up, except for probably the little tiny ones that I had no use for, and I probably ended up giving them away. Today I wished that I would have kept them, but I went out and fortunately they had that. I could have made my own label, but there's a limit to the amount of work I want to put into this. I liked how that looked though. And who knows, I don't know if, I don't know what I'll do with these. I think I might choose one of them and actually use it. But this is the Folklore leather. Again, I got it from Growly Leather. I don't know if that's a leather that's like just their leather or it's a leather you can get from other companies. And then this one is Crazy Horse. Now that's come up all over the place, hasn't it? Galen Leather has Crazy Horse leathers, and so I don't know enough about leather to say if it's just something that's manufactured and different makers buy it and then produce a product. I don't know how that goes exactly, but this one is called Crazy Horse, and it's just a basic brown. Has some nice tan pull-up. Use the same elastic, same style. I just made it so that there were 2 internal strings. I didn't want to get these too bulky. I was just trying to keep it simple and fun. So it was a fun project. I did the same 2 labels here. And these have the junk journal type paper in them, meaning I used a bunch of my scrap paper. And I could have aged this as well using the Distress ink, but I didn't. I wanted the focus to kind of be on the leather cover rather than spending a lot of time on the inserts. But, a person could do that. If they really wanted to do that tiny little work, they could do that. And, on a different day, I might feel like that. I was in a mode of enjoying the creative process, but not, again, wanting to be bogged down with details. I also set these on my work area here with the 5-pound or 3-pound? 3-pound weights on them to try to help them stay, like folded the right way. Kind of marked that one up trying to get the center, but it's distressed. Okay, this one is Colt, same elastic, very similar to that one and a bit smaller, obviously. This is a little more of a pliable leather, and it's got more of a leather scent to it, that typical leather scent. I did write on the inside of these what leather it was for future reference. Did 2 different labels on this one, just for fun. Kind of like the, oh, there's a fly buzzing around my head. You'll probably hear it. I like the continuity, or the, I guess continuity, tying them together, having it seem like it flows, but there I decided to do 2 different ones. I'll probably like scream and throw my arms all around and that thing buzzes by my ear. And then this leather is called, I want to say, it's so funny, I can't remember. I think it's espresso. This is a wonderful, yeah, they wrote on there. And I need to copy it. Very, very soft. It's got like suede, and I have glitter from something. So there's up, there's down. So soft, velvety soft, and very malleable. I don't think I ended up choosing this one for my tote bag. I think I got the Colt. But as I see this, I'm like, maybe I should have gotten that. Again, same format. Definitely has a tall, narrow, standard traveler's notebook look. I have not added labels to this yet, but I did the same thing, and I used coffee dye paper. It was later on today that I realized I had those, remembered that I had those travelers or Tomoe River paper individual sheets. So I just used coffee dye here, and I'll probably put one of those cute little labels on those. This seems, yeah, it might be a little out of proportion to a traveler's notebook. I'm not sure. And again, it may just be my pickiness, you know, when you make something you over criticize. This one is so cute. I added a little bead charm, used the same kind of elastic. And this one was, you know, it really wasn't that hard to do. I just kept it, I have 2 strings, but I just kept it 1 so it would be nice and narrow. This is probably one of my favorites because I feel like the leather just works so well because it's so bendy. It lends itself well to a little miniature project like this, but I like these too because it's super fun to be able to experience these other kinds of leathers in a traveler's notebook that didn't cost me anything. The samples were free, and it gives me an idea of how I might like those leathers if I would ever decide to buy a traveler's notebook in one of these. This is what my tote bag is now that I'm looking at it. I do love the folklore. It's got a really rustic look to it. So there you go. Here is my new creation. Here are my new creations. There we go. Books, traveler's notebooks, all mini. Goes super quick. These you can whip up in no time. I hope that was fun. I hope that's inspiring. I hope this gives you some good ideas on how to use up your scraps. And if you're like me, you want to move stuff out. You don't want to keep accumulating, but think twice before throwing some of those scraps away, or maybe streamline them just a little bit and still keep some of it on hand, because look at all the stuff that was made. The really only thing I had to buy was the elastic today, and that was just a few dollars. So all this was created with stuff that I already had, and I just love being resourceful and using up the stuff I have. Okay, that's all for now. I have talked long enough. We will see you again soon. Take care. Bye.